Did you ever feel like the game was rigged against you with women? What I found during my 10 plus years coaching men on their dating life, their social life, is that most guys are fighting an uphill battle when it comes to attracting and, more importantly, keeping that cool, fun girl that they want. And the reason they're fighting this uphill battle, almost an unwinnable battle, is because they are starting from a position of low status and low value in the eyes of the woman that they're pursuing. So in this video, we're going to discuss how to raise your status in the eyes of the girl you like. Okay, I'm Bobby Rio, and if you're out there and you're constantly putting effort into the girls you're meeting, and maybe you're getting numbers and you think you have attraction, you're going on dates, but then girls are flaking on you. Girls are canceling dates. They're not respecting you. They have no sense of urgency to hang out with you. They're not choosing you from the crowd, right? They're not making time to meet up with you. They lose their attraction to you early on in the relationship. If you constantly find yourself with that feeling in the pit of your stomach that something changed again, you're losing her again, or if you're just too intimidated to go after the ones that you really want, it's because you lack status and girls don't assign enough value to being with you. If they did, then girls would come to you. That's how it works. They wouldn't cancel plans. A high value guy never struggles to find a woman to spend a Friday night with. When girls begin to see you as a high value man, what you're going to notice is that the roles shift. And you become the guy that women work to be with. You become the guy that women chase. Girls make themselves available to you, right? It's not hard to get them out when you have power and when you have status. So I want to give you a quiz. So here's a quiz question. A girl you have a crush on's birthday's coming up in a few weeks. What do? A, I buy her a really special gift and I've already planned my happy birthday text. B, I use her birthday as an excuse to invite her to hang out. Or C, I didn't even realize her birthday was coming up. The correct answer is C. If a girl isn't your girlfriend or your wife, you shouldn't even be thinking about her birthday. Now, the reason I created this as a quiz question is because when I coach clients, over and over, I'll have a guy in the friend zone, or he went on like 2 dates with a girl, and he's already worrying and obsessing about this, right? He's already planning his birthday text, and he's like, Bobby, her birthday's coming up in 3 months. And I'm like, how do you know this? And it's because nice guys believe they have to do or say things to make women like them. They think that her birthday is an opportunity to do something, right? Give me a guilty in the comment section below if you've ever pre-planned a girl's birthday message weeks in advance. I want you to write this down. The person who tries harder holds less power. The average guy, when he's into a girl, he tries way too hard. And she picks up on this really, really quickly. Women find it nearly impossible to be with a guy when she believes that she holds the power, when she knows that she has more value than he does. Even average, even good girls, or girls that aren't super hot, or girls that you would never think are status conscious, none of them will stay with a guy who they don't see as having a lot of value. I work with a lot of guys who hire me to get them out of the friend zone, and it's a specialty of mine. And one of the first things that I always point out to a guy in the friend zone is that women don't put you in the friend zone. You put yourself there by the way you act toward them. Whenever I say that to a guy, there's always, blowback, right? He tells me he did everything right and blah, 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 blah. Trust me, you put yourself in the friend zone, and I'll prove it to you in a bit. But the reason that I'm telling you, right, is because it's the same with value. Just like your actions tell a woman you're the friend zone guy, you tell a woman how much value she should place on you by how you act toward her. Here's step number 1. Put a higher freaking price tag on yourself. Don't give your shit away so cheaply. Don't give your attention away, your validation away, your time away so friggin' cheaply. Because here's a secret. No one, especially women, value something that comes cheaply. So how do you know you're putting a cheap price tag on yourself? You're trying too hard. It's a very simple concept, and I hope you wrote it down because I want you to read it again. The person who tries harder holds less power, and nice guys try way too hard. Women lose respect for you once she realizes that she holds the power. I had a client, Andy, and Andy hired me because he wanted to win back this woman that he had been dating, and she unexpectedly broke it off with him. And I'm talking to Andy and I ask him, so why do you think she broke it off with you? And he tells me, well, I saw her ex-boyfriend's picture on Facebook and he was a really good looking guy and I think she probably wants to get back with him or she wants to be with a guy like him. So then we start going through the story and Andy's telling me, right? He's like, she's really into me at first and we get along and everything's going well and I really feel like, she's the one. So I planned this romantic dinner for her. And I kind of bring up, are you seeing anyone else? I'd like to be exclusive. And Andy tells me that I could tell she got really weird. And I know it's because she still wants her ex. This is what he's telling me. So I ask him though, I go, Andy, how long have you been dating her? And at this point he says, almost 2 weeks. I literally almost threw up in my hand. And I tell him, she didn't act weird because she wants to bang her good-looking ex-boyfriend. She got weird because you told her you wanted to be exclusive after 2 weeks. How much value do you think that communicates to a woman? What kind of price tag did Andy put on himself? Let me be as clear as I can be. A high-value guy, he has options. A woman has to work to get him to settle down. He's not even contemplating settling down after 2 weeks. A high-value guy is not cheap. It takes a lot of effort from a woman to win him over and make him decide that she's the one. The woman should always be the one to instigate the talk. She should be the one saying, what are we? Do you like me? If it's you saying it, your value is plummeting as the words are coming out of your mouth. Now, if you're thinking, I'm not that dumb to say that stuff, right? There's a lot more subtle ways you're handing over your power without even realizing it, as you'll see in a second. Everything you do communicates how much value you place on yourself. What is your price tag? I used to have a female friend, Trisha, who she'd always be kind of moody when we hung out, right? She'd always be in like a bad mood and she'd treat me like I was her like emotional tampon to vent all her problems to. And a part of me as a recovering nice guy, I thought I was being nice or probably I was likely hoping that by being such a good guy, one day she'd go, ooh, Bobby's a great guy. I should really be with him. So I put in more effort. I tried to cheer her up. I tried to stop her from getting bored. I tried to make her laugh. Even though she was giving me nothing in return, I was like a goddamn dancing monkey trying to keep her entertained. And she gave me nothing back. She put no effort in. Why? Because she knew she had the power. She knew I valued our time together more than she did. Finally, I had enough one day and I said, listen, can we talk about something else? If not, I'm going to have to start charging you for therapy sessions. And I said it dead serious and I meant it, right? And she got kind of quiet, but she immediately understood. And you know what? It was like a switch flipped in her mind. And she starts putting in work, trying to keep the conversation going. When we start hanging out, she starts, asking me more questions, which she had never used to do. When a girl does this, when a girl realizes that she doesn't have to put any work into the interaction like Trisha had been previously, she loses respect for you. See, a high-value guy, when a woman's being moody or boring, he lets her know she's being boring. He's not scared, right? He's not scared because he has other women he could be hanging out with. So why would he possibly put up with a boring or crappy behavior? Why would he deal with it, right? Everything you do tells a woman how much value she should place on you. Simple things, right? How fast do you return her texts? How available are you to hang out on last minute, right? If she contacts you last minute, are you always available? How easy is it for her to get you to do you a favor? Being high value is believing you don't have to try so hard. It's about putting a high price tag on your time, on your attention, on your affection, how willing you are to validate a woman. Because a woman knows it, right? She knows that if you're a high value guy with options, she has to work to win you over. So if you're won over too easily, she associates you as being low value. I'm going to say it again in case you missed it. Being high value is believing you don't have to try so hard. Trying too hard is the hallmark of a low value guy. As guys, it's easy for us to kind of size up a woman, right? How pretty is she? You know, if she's really hot, we just assume she's high value, right? If she dresses good and she's attractive. Women know it's not that easy. She's looking for clues when she meets you. What guys don't realize is that your attitude and your behavior around her and towards her tell her how much value she should place on you. How easy is it for her to get a compliment out of you? How hard are you, how much are you working to impress her, right? Are you constantly like telling her jokes, and can she see that you're really trying? Can she get you to buy her things? If you're just getting to know her, she's piecing these things together really fast. How quickly do you apologize or explain yourself? Do you think that overly apologizing or explaining yourself demonstrates more value or less value? Anytime you explain yourself to a woman, your value in her eyes drops. Write that down. Anytime you explain yourself to a woman, your value in her eyes drops. I had a student once, and he sent me a text exchange that he had with this girl. And he made a joke to the girl over text. And it was a dumb joke, right? And I guess a couple hours after he sent the joke, she didn't respond. So he then sends her like 3 texts explaining the joke and why he sent it and apologizing if it was a dumb joke. Do you think those 3 texts explaining the joke increased his value or lowered his value? See, and I want you to pay attention to what you're about to hear. A lot of guys complain that women only like assholes or jerks, right? You hear it all the time. The real reason women are so attracted to these guys is because they place more value on themselves than they place on the woman. They assume the position of higher value. This is why you see a guy who might be short, he might be unattractive, he might be old, but he's with a very attractive woman. I was reading a book, Bad Blood, and it's about a woman, Elizabeth Holmes, who's the head of a billion-dollar company. She's young, she's blonde, she's successful, and she's dating this 5'5", chubby Pakistani guy, 20 years older than her. And it isn't the money, because she was on her way to becoming a billionaire at the time. She was going to be way richer than he was. And anyone who met them always said Sonny had the power in the relationship, right? Why? Because he placed a ridiculously high price tag on himself and she bought into it. Well, what if this doesn't come naturally to you? It all comes down to beliefs that we have formed about women, dating, and relationships since we were 7 years old. We have all these beliefs, right, ingrained into our heads from a very young age. And unfortunately, most of them are unhelpful and actually hurt our chances. So what I did was I created a collection of 21 of the most important high-value beliefs that you must have. And I teach you the belief, why it's important, and how to instill it into your mind. And here's the deal. Because I believe this is probably the single most important thing you can do to improve your dating life, I'm going to make you a very, very special offer, an offer that you can't refuse. I'm going to let you name your price. You can pay me whatever you want for it. Literally, I've sold this training in the past year for $27, and I can't tell you how many of my students told me that it transformed their lives, it gave them a whole new perspective, but I want you to have it. So I'm going to let you pay me whatever you want. Literally, no exceptions, whatever you want. So of course, I know in the comments section, I'm going to have guys saying, well, why don't you just give it to us for free then? Because this is an example of placing value on myself. When you give something away for free, no one values it, especially women. So click the link below and name your price. I will not deny you whatever price you offer. You will not get denied. This is not a gimmick. It's a collection of 21 high-value beliefs to ingrain into your mind that will cause you to change your attitude and your behavior towards women. Just click the link and it's all yours. As always, leave me a comment below, let me know what you think, and hit subscribe if you like this video.